Hi everyone, my name is Kat and I want to welcome you to Kat's Creations, where tonight I always am like so used to going live at night, where today I'm going to show you how to make a Deco mesh tulip bouquet wreath. I saw the idea on YouTube. I was just going through YouTube uploading videos and I came across this video. It is from Make It Like Sharon. So I'm giving credit where credit is due. That's where I found it and I love it. And a lot of us love tulips because they're an amazing flower for spring and they come in a wide variety of colors. So I'm going to teach you how to do that today, not using Michael's tulips. We're going to be actually making our tulips from Deco Mesh, so another Deco Mesh flower for you to make. If you're new here for the first time, come on in, say hi, I'm new, let us know where you're from, because a lot of times crafting connections are made during Facebook Lives. You might just be surprised at who you find here and what city they're from. So I'd love to know where you're joining us from. When we do go live on a Facebook Live, which is normally every Tuesday evening at 4 o'clock, which is 6 Central, 7 Eastern, and then we also go live in the morning, well, in the afternoon on Tuesday, which is 11 Pacific, 1, I'm always doing the math in my head, 1 Central and 2 Eastern time. So make sure you click the like and follow button. Also, more than likely, you guys are going to want to have access to this tutorial, and in order to make it super easy for you to find, if you click the share button down below, that'll automatically take this tutorial while we're doing it right now, and then it's going to map it over to your Facebook page where it's going to be so much easier for you to find. I am just flying solo today. Steve's on a conference call right now. So let me make sure I can read your comments and everything is coming through. Hi, Valerie. Hi, Pam. Hi, Laura. Hi, Kathleen. Hi, Jane from Wales. Wow, long way from where we are here in Washington. So I'm going to go ahead and pivot the camera down. I find that a lot of these designs are best done in an overhead view. So I'm going to go ahead and pivot you down. Hang on just 1 second while we go for a ride. And I'm just going to pivot you down. And I want to make sure that we haven't gone a little too far, because I need to make sure you guys can see the edge of the board. And I think we're there. Yes. Okay, so we're going to be using the Unique in the Creek triangle board. Now you can get these boards through uniqueinthecreek.com. You can also find them, I think Amazon sells them, Michael's, Joann's, Deco Exchange, Trendy Tea, maybe Craft Outlet in the Wreath Shop. Just to go ahead and double check. I usually buy them in bulk because I use so many of them. So there's so many different ideas on what you can use these for. We're used to making the Christmas trees from these, but we're going to go ahead and pivot this so it's upside down. And what we're going to be doing is making a bouquet of like tulips. So tulips that you hold together, okay? And we are going to be using 4 different color Deco Mesh. So you're going to need, or whatever color tulips you want. I'm using the fuchsia. I'm going to be using lavender, a dark purple, and then a pale pink. These are going to be my tulip colors because I like the little spring soft colors. But you can do them in any color that you would like, and you don't have to use 4. You could just simply do 2, or you can just simply do 1. So what I'm going to do is teach you how to make the tulip petal. I'm going to teach you how to make the stems. I'm going to teach you how to make the leaves, and then we're going to put it together and assemble it, and then show you how easily it goes together on the Unique in the Creek board. So you'll need the board. You will need binder clips or clothespins to help hold your petals together until you assemble them. You will need zip ties. You will need wire cutters. You will need your choice of ribbon because we're going to bundle our tulips together in a nice pretty bow. And I think that's it. I use my glue gun because there are certain things that I don't want to come apart, and I'll show you those once we get to them. I'm all about making sure, you know, that it lasts. So first things first, let me show you how to put together the petals. So I'm going to take the board and set that to the side. Okay, let's see. Pam said Hobby Lobby's going to carry them soon, so that's amazing. Hi, Kay. Hi, Chunky. Kathleen says, keep 2 families in prayer. My family lost her brother and father within a week, and my friend cancer's back and spreading fast. Thank you in advance. Well, Father God, we just pray for these 2 families right now. We pray that there's such a loss, and I'm feeling that this is, for some reason, a season of leaving and loss. I don't know why, but I just have so many people who are losing things, whether they're losing family members, whether there's a loss of business, whether there's a loss of finances, whether there's a loss of life, or a loss of their normal way of doing things. So Lord, we ask that you go before us like you always do. These things do not come about without your knowledge. So we just pray, Lord, that you strengthen and guide those families into whatever chapter is next for them. And always, Lord, we always pray for 100% healing for people who have cancer. But Lord, if not, because we don't know what your ultimate plan is, that you just give them the strength to get through that. And we ask this in Jesus' name. Amen. All right, everyone. So we are taking our 10-inch Deco mesh. It's 10-inch mesh lengthwise, right? The rolls. And we're cutting it into 10-inch pieces. So for everything, 10-inch pieces for your stems, 10-inch pieces for your leaves, 10-inch pieces for your tulip heads. And you're going to need 2 to create your tulip head. So let me show you how we're going to do this. So I've cut mine with the wood burning tool because I hate frays. So we're going to do something a little bit different. Okay. So wood burning tool, 10 inches. We're going to take it, turn it on a corner. We are going to, thank you, Lord, for the reminder with that feather. I always say Psalms 91 is amazing, my favorite psalm. And whenever feathers pop up, I'm like, oh, hey, there's a feather. Thank you, Lord. So we're going from the top. Okay. Here's my finished edge. I'm going to take the top. We're going to take the top and meet the bottom. And then you're going to try to square this up as best as possible in a triangle. Okay. Then let me try to zoom in on this. So here is our triangle. We're going to turn it to the side because it's easier to do this way. We're going to pinch in the middle. And what you see is automatically happening is it's curving the arch on our Deco mesh. So we are just going to fold this over slightly. And I find that if you just kind of scrunch and push it forward like this, it just kind of emphasizes that curve even more. I'm trying to keep everything even at the bottom. So fold the corner over because it's going to do that anyway. And I'm going to gather my corners, make sure that they're nice and smooth. And there we have what's called a scoop petal. Okay, this is our scoop petal. So we are just going to simply take this. We're going to take a clip. We're going to clip it together. And what I've liked to do, because I like them to be a little bit more pointy, is I've taken them and I started to do this with them. So they're a little bit more tulip shaped instead of more of the bowl. So there's one. We're going to grab another piece, do the exact same thing, finished edge to the left. We're going to go from the top right to the bottom, square up your Deco mesh, turn it to the side. Okay, we're going to pinch in the center because then it makes that arc automatically happen. We're just going to fold this end over and I'm just going to walk it towards the center. And when I do, it's automatically flipping this into a bowl shape. So see, even if I pull it, like if I just walk my fingers around and fold the last little piece over, I find that it creates like a little bubble, a little pocket there. Again, I try to keep my pieces even. And then I'm going to go ahead and pull that one down. So we're back to a scoop. And then again, I like to make mine look more of a oval, less of a circle. So we're going to take these two with a zip tie. I think I mentioned we need zip ties. I think so. I'm always going to make sure my petals look really pretty. We're going to take the two, scoop side facing each other, and we're going to place them together. Okay, just like so. Squish, squish, squish. There we go. So here is our tulip head, what we've created. And remember, if you guys have ever seen tulips, nobody's tulips are ever perfect. Like, you don't have two perfect petals. So I'm going to zip tie those together. You could rubber band them. I just find that sometimes the rubber bands have a tendency of snapping over time. So there is our beautiful little tulip head, just like that. So you guys can see that. That's a tulip head. Okay. Then we're going to take this excess right here. I usually put about a thumb's length in. And we're going to trim all that excess off. I'm going to do it over the trash, but basically it's going to be right here. Like that. So we have our tulip head. So that's how we do our tulip head. Okay. Now, yeah, right, Joyce? It's super pretty. Okay. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to show you really quick how to build your tulip stem. So again, we're taking green. I have a premium mesh here because it's the only one I had. 10-inch piece cut with a wood burning tool. And the only thing you're going to do is start at the corner and just roll it up. I like to roll them nice and tight. So just keep focusing on that corner. Don't look at the other sides. So I try to make them as even as possible. When I get to about this point right here, I don't want it to come undone. So what I've been doing on mine is just placing a small little line of glue right here. Okay, Lord, why is our glue gun not on? Oh. Glue, I must have hit my outlet board, which makes a world of sense for me because things were turning off and I'm like, why am I losing power? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay a bead of glue, and then once the glue gun heats up, then we're going to go ahead and seal the deal there. I'm just going to use a binder clip right now to hold that until our glue gun is hot enough, and then I'm going to glue those so that you have your tulip stems just like this out of 10-inch Deco mesh pieces. Hard to believe, right? The finished result is an 18-inch long stem. You don't need them all the way. And we do know that on tulips, you have the thin leaves. So these could be used as leaves by folding them in half, just like this. And we could place those on either side of our tulip, or we have our tulip stems. Okay, and I'm sure someone's going to devise an entire tutorial about how to make the Deco mesh. You could probably find a way to put those inside. Oh my God, think about this from a craft fair. Okay, insight, right? Nugget from God. Imagine before you put your zip tie on, if you did them like this, and then you create the stem, you could totally sell these at a craft fair, like little Deco mesh, tulip, whatever. And you could sell them in a whole bunch of different colors and let people mix and match their own. So there is that. Okay, so I'm going to let this one go. Let me show you how to make the actual leaves. So we're going to take these, again, another 10-inch piece, right, Joyce? She's like, I love it. We're going to go ahead and go right here, corner to corner. I think that's corner to corner. And we're going to walk this up. And here we have our leaves. So we can do leaves like that. It depends on which one you want. Yes. Pam, who was it? Somebody asked me that question. I'm waiting. Chris, is this the tulip Sharon made? Yes. So I'm just doing a little bit of a different variation on it. But yes, that's where I initially got the idea. So you could also go end to end, squish up the center, and then you have a bigger leaf if you want bigger leaves. So two different ways depending upon which leaf style you like, because when we look at tulips, let me see if I have some here. I do. So like these are the tulips that Michael sells. So they have the long leaves like this. So, and then they also have the skinny leaves. So the skinny ones are what we're using with the Deco mesh rolled on the end, folded in half. The other ones we are creating either by going 10-inch corner to corner, right? Meet in the middle, gather, and then you have your leaf stem, or you could go complete corner to corner, go right up the center, and then you have those leaves, which I kind of like a little bit better. Okay, so I am going to zip tie these together just so that it stays in place, just like so. Okay, so technically I have my stem, right? I have my leaf, or you can do the long leaf just like this. Oops. Just like that, right on our stem. I just think that those make a beautiful flower. So there's an idea for somebody who wants to make these and sell them at the craft fair. You could totally add your stem while you're putting that together. You could also take, you know, because there's no strength in a Deco mesh tube. What if, as you're rolling it, you roll it around a metal skewer or small dowel rod to give it strength? Go ahead and attach it, you know, attach your leaf, and then you're good to go. So this is like a twofer. It's kind of like, hey, here's how to make a Deco mesh tulip that you could sell at a craft fair individually, or you can put together the tulip wreath, which we're doing here today. Okay, so let me go ahead and show you how we glue, which is just super simple because my glue gun is on now. So I just kind of fold that up just like that so that it doesn't unroll, because I like the thinness of the stem. If I just kind of zip tie these in randomly, you could get a spiral that unrolls at the bottom. I want to keep them thin like stems. So I've shown you how to do the leaf, the stem, and let's do one more because I need it for our, whatchamacallit, to put our bouquet together. So we're going to do purple one. So 10-inch Deco mesh, cut 10-inch pieces, corner to corner, square them up, which just means even up the edges. Okay, tilt to the side, pinch in the center. Remember, it's automatically rounding the corners. I'm going to do a slight little fold. I'm going to walk that towards the center. Okay, it's already forming a circle, so I'm just going to fold that over. And I just like to walk this in so that, that one's kind of turned out a little bit wonky there. Hang on a second. Fold, gather, right to the center. There we go. So we have our little scoop. We're going to put a clip on it. We're going to go ahead and make another one. I have my zip tie ready. We're going from the top to the bottom. Okay, we're going to go ahead and square that up. We're going to gather to the center. Okay, it's already forming. It's already like starting to put it into a curl shape. So we're just kind of following that all the way through. And I'm just gathering, meeting my Deco mesh in the middle. Kind of doing the same thing. Oop. There we go. Here's my little tulip piece. So again, they're more round when you make the scoop petal, but I like to take mine and just kind of flatten them out so they're more oval shape. Do that with this one. Okay, we're going to take the clips together, or take it off. We're going to put the open ends together, and then we're going to zip tie or rubber band that in place. This wore out my hands just yesterday. I'm making all the petals that I needed for this. That's a lot. Okay. Again, remember that petals do not need to be perfect, because even when they're here, we don't have perfect petals. Even when you're looking at tulips in real life, sometimes you have petals that are down. Sometimes they're missing a petal. So don't let perfection hold you up on that whole method. So I am going to make sure these ones stay together. And I'm going to trim up that little fray right there. It's just along the cut edge. So there we have it. Now I make sure that I'm cutting off 1 thumbs-inch length off of this stem, because we don't need all that extra. And then we're ready to start to assemble our bouquet. Okay, so I've already taken the liberty in putting a hanger on the Unique in the Creek board. I'm starting at the top, and this is the very center of the board. I just attached a braided cord so that it has an ability to hang on the door or hang on a wall. Debbie said what burning tool is best to get. You could, any that heat up to 425 degrees. So that's my recommendation. You can get those at Walmart, Hobby Lobby, Joann's, Michael's. Amazon has them. And they're right about $15. So you just want to make sure it gets to the 425. All right. Now, I already have all my petals done. Like I said, we're doing the magenta, we're doing the purple, we're doing a light pink, and we're also doing a lavender. And so we don't have to preload our holes. You're just going to simply start, and you're going to take all your petals and kind of lay them out the way that you want them to be. So, you know, it might be what you're trying to do is figure out where the hole placements line up, but also, you know, what look you like. And some of our tulip heads might be more thin and some of them more rounded. So obviously we can use those where we want them to be. So I'm just going to kind of place these. I want the first one a little bit tall. So we're just placing these. Let's say it kind of goes something like this. I'm just trying to give you guys a precursor. It's easier once you put them all in. I'm going to save the light pink for the bottom. So we don't want to come up to the top, because like a bouquet of flowers, you have it rounded, but we definitely want to make sure we're covering the board. So we might bring these ones down. Okay, might squeeze one in here, which kind of throws everything else off, but it might be something that kind of goes in line like this. And I'm just kind of plopping them on the board. I have about 5 of each that I've made, and these won't go quite as far down, and they'll all get smushed better together. There's that one. We're going to put one. We'll end up tucking one in here. Okay. But we definitely want to make sure that it's a cascade effect from here. One down here. Probably 2 down here. It's hard because they're all big. And then I'm going to take the baby pink ones, and we're going to put the baby pinks at the bottom. So it'll probably be, you know, something along these lines. Wherever we kind of have little gaps in between, that's where we're going to put the stems. the little leaves. So like if we have one in here, we might put a stem here, we might put one here, we might put one down at the bottom. And then once we get to the bottom, then obviously this is where we're going to attach our stem, our whole stems. So it's like somebody bought a bouquet wrapped in a nice little ribbon, and then we're going to put it all together. So this might be something like this. Of course, it's going to go further up the board, kind of like we have a little bit of space here on our board. So you want to make sure that, I think it's row 3 or row 2, we want to make sure that we have enough space down here, because this is where we're going to start our leaves and stems. So that's kind of like the general layout of how it's going to go. So I'm going to take all this stuff, move it off to the side, and we're going to start with our purples. We're going to put our purples in first. So I'm going to take these ones. These are what we're working with. I'm going to put my first zip tie in right here where I have my hanger. Just like that. And I'm going to zip tie my first tulip here. And the thing that I like about using the zip ties is, you know, there's always that possibility it can pull out. So if I use the zip ties and I put them just below, then it doesn't pull out. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and take my next one. Look at where it kind of lines up. You know, I think I kind of want it there. So I'm going to do one there. And maybe right about there. See what I'm saying? When you put them on the board, you can get them in there a little tighter than when you're kind of second guessing that on your board. So I'm going to take this one and we're going to snug that one right up. Just like so. I'm going to go ahead and take this one, and I'm looking at where that one falls, kind of right in here. So I'm going to go right in between. Lay that right inside. Okay. Again, coming down, I'm looking at where's my hole placement need to be. I'm thinking right in here, because up here just feels, let's see. Maybe. I think I like it. Do I like it up that high? I want them down a little bit more. So I think I want it here, and then I'm going to place this one here. So then we have our purples in. So right in here. Okay, I'm going to take that, lay that right where I need it to go. Nice and tight. Then we're going to take this one and we're going to lay that one in right about there. I think that looks good for our purple, laying our purples in. So, do I want to do it super close? I think I'm going to go and do the outside holes instead of the inside one. Okay. Cheryl says, I finally got on in. It's something different, right? Can't wait to see how it turns out. Exactly. Okay. So there's that one. So we've got our 5 purple in. If I needed an extra purple, I do have that extra one, so we could technically come down, but I'm going to wait. Let's go ahead and add our pink. So I'm going to be building the pink probably down here. I think that's where I like my pink one to go. So I'm going to go right in here because that's still plenty big enough to cover my board. Just like that. Take a skinny one and we'll place this one kind of looking at where that's going to fall right down here. And we're still covering the board. Remember, wherever we have gaps, we can attach the green stem to those. Okay. Just like that. And now we have one right about here. And that, see how it just falls into place wherever you lay it and you're like, oh, that's pretty, I like that. You can even lift these up. Let me look and see. Do I want to add right under here something so that when we add this one, we already have our green stem in there. I kind of like that. Look how pretty that looks. So I'm going to add in my stem right here in between these because that's going to fill up that center where they connect. Go ahead and add those in. Okay. And then we're going to add the other one right into the center. This is going to go right in between. How pretty. So this is going to go right in here. And all I'm doing is picking up the board and placing my zip ties in, so when I come in with my tulip petal, we have some really good coverage. And we're introducing some greenery to those bunches of tulips. And you can just pick up the purple one next to it so that it's like this, right? We're kind of creating a bunch, not all solid, we're mixing the colors, but our bunch should look something similar. So we've got these thin, skinny little pieces at the top that we are attempting to recreate. Okay. I'm going to go here off to the side, right down in here. Here's our tulip petal. Making sure our green is in there. Here is our other tulip right in here. And I think that's going to turn out perfect because remember I said we need to kind of make sure that our tulips don't go too far down because you'd have a really long wreath that wouldn't fit in a box. So let me see where I want these to go. I do have one more piece of the hot pink, so we could technically put one more in. But we'll wait, just like we have the purple, if we feel that we need to go any different. there's that one. So what I'm saying is I do have one more, because we made that one as our demo. We could technically go like that. And then I'm looking at where's my pink gonna wind up. Yeah, I think we will. I'm gonna put this one down here. Wait a second. Yes, down here. Okay. Okay, there's that one. Now we're gonna do the lavender on the other side. So we're gonna come in here. You can also pick them up if you want them just to slightly lay over the top. We can have them kind of cascade out to the side, which is kind of what I've liked there. So this one is in here. I think I'm doing here and here. As soon as let's make sure. So yes, I kind of want this one tucked under the others. Make sure your tulip petals are laying the way that they should, and they're not face down. And then this one now will overlap. We're going to take this one, kind of have this one come out to the side a bit, just like so, because we don't want it to look too perfect. So right in here. So this one's going to be more off to the side. Just like so. And right in here. I'm always trying to line them up in a whole position. So I think right there. Right about here. What do you guys think so far? Right, Cheryl? She says perfect in Canada. I can probably even get it from Unique in the Creek. I think she even sells all the mesh too. Awesome. All right. So again, coming in right here. And where do I need to fill that hole? Right about there. And then we'll probably come in with another leaf. Right in here. So I'm bringing that one just slightly under the one before it. Let's look at our stems. Let's think about adding, let's just off stagger this one just a touch. What if we did around and kind of like that? which means that there's a hole in the center. Or do we want to do it lower? Kind of liked it up where it was. Like, I like it there. But I'm trying really hard not to be too matchy-matchy, like put them all on the same line. So let's do this. I gotta turn my zip tie around. It turned on me. There we go. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to make these off staggered, so slightly off, so they're not exactly the same length. So we have one longer than the other. And I'm going to separate that and pull this one up. So we kind of have those like so. And then we're going to have this one down here a bit. I think I said down, yeah, down in here. There we go. Okay, and then we'll attach our purple one right to the center, right in here. A little ways down. And then I want to make sure that if we come in, like I might do this one off here. So then it'll fill, and then our pink will start here. I think that's what I'm going to do. So here is purple. Oops. Okay, and now we're adding our pink. This is our last layer of tulips. So I'm going to come in here, which puts me right here. So right now I'm on row 7. Remember I said we want to stop it like row 3. I like the thinner one. It depends. See, and that's where having your tulips have some thinner, have some thicker, just all pan out. So this one, and have this one out to the side just a bit. So right here. I'm like looking where I want these to stop. I think I want them up. Like I need them all, I think, to be right about in here. So they all need to stop at like line 5. And then that way it'll give me more room for our stems. Of course, that one's upside down. So I'm going to lean this one out. This one's going to go in. Let's see. That one. This one. I'm just looking at placement on the last ones for me. I think that'll work. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then one straight in the center, and I think that'll be perfect. So this one's going to go right in the middle. Of the two. And feel free to flip them around. See what they look like on both sides. Sometimes you might have a better look on the other side. Okay, this one we said was going to go out. And I think we said up. So this one's going to go a little further down. I'm going to go ahead and get that one in, and then we can move it whichever way we want. So it can kind of be out to the side. We'll take this one, move that right in there, and then our last one is going to go right here. So this, get that right here. It doesn't have to go too high. And then the last one, that one's going to go in, and that's going to go right here. Okay, right in here. And then I think we successfully finished right where we needed them to be. And we can always move your petals around. And so now we are going to take and we are going to add our stems. So we're going to take our stems. I'm looking at where I want them to wind up. I think I'm going to put them on line 2. So we don't want them hanging too far off the bottom, but we do want to make sure that it covers and looks like a bouquet. Let's see. I'm gonna make, like, I don't want all my stems to be the same length. I'm gonna try. So I'm gonna put those 2 in the middle. So now we're still camouflaging the board. before I do that, let me attach my leaf. So my leaf is going to go up in here. I'm just trying to figure out what hole it's in. Looks like number 4. And let me just get my pipe cleaner in, or not pipe cleaner, zip tie in, and figure out if I want to zip tie it to my stem, which I probably want to do. Right there. Let me see. I think I'm gonna make 2 leaves, and I'm gonna put 1 leaf off to the side like this, and then we're gonna put another one off to the side over here. So let me add another zip tie. Take that one out. This is my first time attempting to do this. Up. Let me find where the head of this is at. I don't want you in. I think what I'm going to do, like this one out to the side, but I want to make sure my leaf comes up here to cover the inside of like where our zip ties end, like that. And then we'll do another one. So let me go ahead and show you how we form the leaves. So the leaf is going to be corner to corner from this leaf, and then straight up the center. And then we'll have another one here. Yeah. Because we don't have to worry about down here because we have our bow going on it. Kind of like it like that, and then these will go up. Oop, not too far. These will kind of go into the side. Let me make sure these all look like they're part of the leaf process. So I kind of like it like that, and then down here is going to be where we add our bow. So I'm going to attach this one. Yes, right here. I think I had this here before, and I pulled it back out. And I think I want to make sure that my leaf is added and that the stem does not move. So I'm going around one side, although I don't like how that's laying. Like, I love that, which means, do we need to go lower? try to go under that one. See what that looks like. So, like that. And of course, this zip tie is a defective zip tie. It has no, and I should have known that before it was going in. I'm like, it had no zip. Okay. So now I know what I'm doing. Up through the hole. And I'm on, hang on a sec. So I'm just taking these and bending them a little slightly. There we go. Okay, that'll create a nice little look for that leaf. This one can stay on the other side. We'll go ahead and attach these two. They're going to go right here. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side with our leaf here. And finish up our big bouquet of tulips. Thanks for sticking with me, everyone. Like I said, it's a work in progress. Trying to figure out what I want to do. Make those ones a little bit longer. We will add our leaf off to the side. Remember how we did that? We're just folding it so we can get it to go where we want it to. And before I do that, I want to set up my tulips for the look I want. So this one on the outside. There's our leaves, just like that. Which means that I need it in here. So just the bottom too. Yep. I'm like, why did I do the other one so high? Just different. My tulips are placed different, height-wise. We're going to bend my leaves. Nice and tight. Take this one. Just like so. Doesn't it look like a big bunch of tulips? Wow, Gail. Nice. All right, so now we are going to add our bow, and our bow is going to cover up all of the stuff down here. So, what do you guys think so far? Look, let me show you what that looks like. Doesn't it look beautiful? Like I said, if you want to come in and add other pops of green to your tulips, we could definitely do that. So we're going to make a bow to fit down in here. And then it's like a big bunch of tulips ready to go. So this would be perfect for a wedding, a bridal shower, a wedding, bridal shower, Mother's Day, birthday, anytime, or anyone who loves tulips and you just like the look, because you know with tulips, even if you plant them for reals, once the bloom, once the tulip head blooms, you know, that's it. It only lasts for a very short season. So we're going to take, and I'm going to add this really super pretty spring. It's like an orange, purple, and pink. Even though we don't really incorporate orange in here, we're going to definitely make sure that we have a really pretty bow with really nice little tails. And I kind of want my tails to hang down a little bit. So if I start that here, let me see where I'm at. I'm at 11 inches for a tail. So, and I want this to have a lot of loops, same ribbon. So we are going to dovetail the ends, which just means bring the wire edges together. I'm going to cut from the folded side down to the wired point. And we said 10 inches or 11 inches, right? Okay, I'm going to use my Bodabra just to hold all my loops together. So, we said 11 inches. How far do we want the loops to be out? At least. Oh, that's going to look so pretty, you guys. I like that as my loop length. So let's see what that is. That's 6 inches. Okay, that'll work. So we're going to twist, place it inside the Bodabra, and I like the 6 inches. So we're going to do 2 loops at 6 inches, which means boring your Bodabra, the center. I find it easy if we just round to 10, so I have it on the 20 right now. I'm stretching this out to make sure that this hits 6 inches out. And we're going to do 2 loops on each side at 6 inches. So making sure. Once you get the first 2 down, then all you have to do is put your fingers in the other, give it a slight tug. This ribbon is from Sam's Club. Go up and over. Okay. And then we're going to come in, we're going to do 2 at 5. So I'm going to bring that all the way down to 5 inches. Measure at 5. We don't want it to be any larger. So 2 at 5. So again, we've measured the bottom one, put it in the top and pull. Top and pull. And then we're going to do 2 at 4. We're going to really bring that one down. So 2 on each side at 4. There's 4. That. So far, we're just making one really large bow with a bunch of different loops. Let's do 2 at 3. Let's do 2 at 3.5. Or not 2, but just a solid 2. Just to finish that bow look up at the top. 3.5, and then remember we needed an 11-inch tail. Dovetail our end. Okay, let's grab a purple pipe cleaner. I'm going to fold this into a U, and actually let's give it 2 more 11-inch tails. So 11 and 11 is 22. So I was thinking about it, and I'm like, I think I want to make it a little longer. So I'm going to show you what happens if you think after the fact, oh, I should have probably made additional tails. So I took a piece. I actually did 24 inches for this one. I need to find out where the middle is, which is 12 inches in. So right there. Okay. You can put it at the top, but I prefer to be at the bottom. So I'm just going to pick this whole thing up. I'm going to drop that back in. So now I have a total of some longer tails. And let me make sure my pipe cleaner's ready. Pick the whole thing up. We're going to drop our pipe cleaner over the top. Could use a zip tie. We're going to twist. Now we obviously want the tails coming out the bottom, right? So I'm going to fluff it on the board. So my board, everything's going to come right across the zip ties. So the first thing I want to do is pull all the tails to the bottom. So just like this. And then I'm going to just move these out of the way. So I'm just staggering different sizes, different lengths, just so it's easier for me. Okay, it's going to be a nice pretty bow, so that when I lay it here, I can kind of see where it's going to fall. And the nice thing is right in the center of those stems that we created, 2 pipe cleaner holes. Let's see if this is too low. Let's pull this down and see. I'm just going to do 1 twist, and then I'm going to fluff and see, does this cover all of my cosmetics on this design, or do I need to go just a touch higher? I think I need to go just a touch higher because my stems are hanging a little too low. So let's go up 1 hole. Okay. That's why we don't go too far. So here's 1. And the other one. Oops. Right in here. There we go. I think I'm pretty happy with that, because then we have these all cascading down. Oh, it looks so pretty. And I'm just opening up all my loops. Bringing all of my tails to the bottom. Oop, these are the 2 center ones, so I want to make sure I have 2. And there we have it. There is our official Deco Mesh Tulip Wreath. That is all perfect for Mother's Day, birthday, bridal shower, baby shower, you name it. That's it. Look how beautiful that turned out. Of our tulip to the very bottom. We're at 29 inches. So it just depends where you measure it from. Let's put this on the door and see what it looks like. So give me just a second to take the other one off. I put that one up. And then I'll show you what this beauty looks like on the door. So let me pan you up. Right, Joyce? Sorry, it's a little rocky. So here is our tulip. Here is my hanger. And there is our beauty on the door. Look at that. Just like so. There is our tulips on the door. I'm going to zoom in so you guys can actually see it on the door. This is a full-length door. So if you feel like you need like lift it higher, then you can definitely do that. Oh, thanks, Gail. She said Lori from Unique in the Creek would like this. Like I said, the first person who came up with the technique was, hold on a sec, let me do it for you. Make it like Sharon. So you can also find her on YouTube as well. She did the original one, so I just wanted to do a different spin, a different take on it. Like I said, for me, I'm always like trying to find ways to make it a little bit more permanent. So adding the zip ties to that just makes it so much better. And I love the way it turns out. And so imagine anyone who loves tulips, you can make these in whatever color, you can make them whatever bunches. Oh, really quick, let me show you guys what happens when you don't have Deco mesh thick enough like I did. You guys ready for a quick tip? I'm going to pan you back down again. I totally forgot. Hang on, we're going for another ride. So let me show you really quick. Let me pan you back out and readjust the camera. Get you all squared up again. So there comes the dilemma, because sometimes when you're starting off, you don't know where to get your Deco mesh. And sometimes we get lower quality Deco mesh. Like this is mesh from Joann's. It's gorgeous when it's on the roll like this. And you're thinking to yourself, oh my God, that's great. Look at that yellow chiffon. That's what it reminds me of. Yellow chiffon. But when you cut them in individual pieces, it's very thin and very transparent. Well, our whole goal is to make sure that we're hiding the board. So if you happen to have thinner mesh, you're just going to need to cut double the pieces. So you're going to double them up, meaning you're just going to take one, place one over the other, like so, and try to get them, you know, as even as you possibly can, if that's at all possible. Sometimes it may not be exact, but that's okay. Okay. Finish line or finished edge right on our left. We're going to take the top corner, go all the way down to the bottom. Okay, we're going to square that up. And we're still doing the same thing. We're pinching to the center, right? We're following that up, making sure the ends meet. Following this around. Okay, making sure our ends meet so we don't have one longer than the other. There's our scoop, right? Look how pretty that is. And that automatically makes a gorgeous yellow chiffon tulip. I have another two pieces to show you what the finished one would look like. So let me just show you. Here's what a single one would look like. Just in case you're like, well, I don't think it would look that bad. Okay, let me show you. Okay, so I'm going to do this one really quick. Gonna fold. Gonna fold. So there's this one, right? Which is totally transparent, and there's that one. Obviously, the difference is apparent. I mean, you can't miss that. So, again, we'll correct it. Because I know everyone has mesh that we're like, oh, you know, yellow is the hardest to find. I don't know why, but it is the hardest to find in the colors we want or the quality we want. So I'll bring that up to the top. Okay. Even it up as much as we can, corner to corner. Okay, pinch in the middle, fold, right, bring that to the center. There's our scoop being formed. We're just going to grab one, just like so. There's our scoop. And now, when we go, I like to make them a little bit pointier. We're going to do back to back like so, and then we're going to need a zip tie to hold it all together. So when zip tie, hold them all together. Cut that one off. And then we're going to trim up the edge. Remember, 1 thumb's length, so you have enough to actually zip tie it to your board. And there you have it. That's how you remedy what happens when you don't have super thick deco mesh and you're like, oh, but I would really like a way to undo this with the mesh that you have. It's another way you can use up what you have left. So I'm going to pan you guys back up for that final look. If you guys like this, again, make sure you like and follow. Share this if you want to get a copy of this to your Facebook page. And then also, if you guys would like to join the private group, it is currently open. You get both business and design classes. You get 4 of each every single month. Most people split those apart and charge you separate. I keep them together, and you get the best of both worlds for one low price. And that's going to be, hang on a second, I'm going to pin this for you guys. couchcreationsandmore.com. Man, I so miss my help lately. It's like, where is he? We'll pin that. So it's pinned to the board. It's pinned to the bottom. So if you guys will want to go over there and jump in, this will be available for sale on my website. I just haven't had an opportunity to measure it and get it listed because I wanted to figure out what my materials cost is in, which I'm going to be doing when we go not live. And then I'll get that listed in my shop if somebody wants to be the lucky person to grab that before it is gone. So, hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I'm working on more designs for next week, so I hope you'll come back and watch. Again, like and follow to make sure you're notified when I do go live. All right, everyone. Thank you for joining me, and I will talk to you soon. Bye for now, everyone.